Take 3. Yes. My Word document where my script is broken. Anyway, I'm looking in a weird direction. You know what that means? Video. Yes. And anyway, how's it going, chaps? As you might be able to tell by this recent absence that I had, these videos will come out less often because of school stuff. I don't have much time to write the script. That's why it took me 2 days to do it. I mean, I was lazy as well, but it doesn't matter. And before you ask, yes, I'm wearing this on my shoulder. Don't ask why. I want to, I don't know, show it off. Russian or Soviet weapons. According to a Reddit argument, because there was a Ukrainian who said that saying Russian instead of Soviet was wrong. Probably is as well, but whatever. Otherwise, smallest to largest, I'm warning anyone who speaks Russian because I'm probably going to butcher in the Russian pronunciations. But I don't really care to. Anyway, pistols. For automatics, we have, there is the TT-33. I was chambered for the 762 by 25mm Tokarev cartridge. 1.3mm produced from 1933 to 1955, when they were replaced by the Makarov, which is more recognizable and more famous. The TT stands for Tula Tokarev, which I looked up and have no idea what it stands for. I honestly can't tell you. As for revolvers, we have the Nagant 1895. It was obviously first used in 1895 by the Russian Empire and chambered for the 762 by 38mm cartridge. They were produced from 1895 to 1945, and they were still standard sidearm officers even during World War II, so they're quite outdated. Around 2 million were produced, which is crazy. They were manufactured first at Fabrique d'Armée Émile Léon Nagant in Belgium, surprisingly enough. Then at Tula Arsenal, afterwards at the Ijevsk machine building plant, and finally at the, I'm wearing Poles, Państwowa Fabryka Karabinów, now for submachine guns. Now the most famous one that most people can recognize by its looks and by its sounds is the Papsha 41. But I'm going to talk about that one a bit later. The first notable submachine gun was the BPD-34. It stands for Pistolet Pulemyot Degtyarowa 34. Degtyarowa is the weapon's designer. First used in Spanish Civil War in 1936 and until 1945, around 90,000 were made. Next, the Papsha 41. Yes, it is pronounced Papsha, I've looked it up. The Papsha stands for Pistolet Pulemyot Szpagina, that literally means Szpagin's machine pistol. It fired a 9x19mm round at a rate of fire of a terrifying 900 to over 1,000 rounds per minute. They were fed by 35 round box magazines or 71 round drum magazines. Many later versions didn't have the capability to be equipped with the drum magazine. Said drum magazine was more cumbersome and heavier and honestly not very popular with the troops. Some captured German versions could also be used with the 32 round box magazines as well, because the Germans wanted to use their own magazines, and so they didn't have to capture Russian magazines and bullets. Anyway, now for rifles. This is where I screwed up my first take. The most commonly used rifle at the start of the war was the Mosin Nagant 1891-30, which means that it was modified in 1930, or Trakliniaya Wintowka Obratsa 1891 Goda, chambered for the 762 by 54mm Russian or 762 Russian. The second one is the most common way of saying it. Some different versions were used, such as the model 1938 carbine. 37 million were made from 1891 to 1973, and they are still used with some smaller countries. Many countries used it, most notably the Russian Empire, Soviet Union, China, Czechoslovakia, Kingdom of Romania, and the Socialist Republic of Romania, Serbia, Bulgaria, Hungary, Finland, and Poland, and many, many more. Some countries still use them, such as Bulgaria and some African countries, and some terrorist groups use them. Just before Operation Barbarossa started in June 1941, in 1940, the SVT-40, that stands for Samostrania Wintowka Tokarewa, was created. It was chambered for the standard 762 Russian. About 1.6 million were made. Now for the LMGs. The Degtyarovo Pekhotny, or DP-27, later DP-28, was a standard infantry machine gun issued to Red Army troops. It fired the 7.62 Russian at 550 rounds per minute from a rotating pan magazine, kind of like the Lewis gun. It was often named the Progoryatel, or record by Red Army troops. Around 790 were made from 1928 to the 50s. They were still used in the Korean War as well. Now for the heavy machine gun, I have the Dyshka, which stands for Degtyarovo Shpagina Krupno-Kaliberny. It was first designed in 1938, and it's in use in a lot of countries, mostly used on tanks because they fire very large rounds. One unit costs $2,250 to make, so they are quite expensive. It fires the very large 12x7 by 108mm round at 600 rounds per minute. For some reason, this particular script took way longer than my other scripts, as I said. But anyway, when I get some patrons, I'll be shouting them out here. Currently, I have none. Well, at the time of recording this, I have none. Alright, next video, here's a spoiler for you. Will be in a different language, probably. And I'll write some captions. Anyway, recording me probably butchered the pronunciations, and I'll see you all in the next video, which again will probably be in a different language with captions. Alright then, cheerio!